Last year, an utterly baffling and unexpected scene off the northern coast of Norway left the entire world astonished. A solitary beluga whale appeared, wearing a harness tightly strapped to its body with the mysterious words, "Property of St. Petersburg," inscribed on it. Belugas typically inhabit cold, glacial waters, so its presence in this coastal Norwegian region was already unusual. However, what truly shocked everyone was that it was completely alone. The intrigue deepened when the fisherman who spotted it noticed that, beyond its solitary journey, the whale was not only pulling on its ropes, but was also so calm and docile that it allowed people to pet it, a discovery straight out of an unsolved mystery. While a friendly whale might seem entertaining to most of us, it immediately alarmed Norwegian authorities. Experts believed it had likely been trained to spy for Russia. Eventually, the fisherman managed to cut off the harness, and the whale followed a sailboat to the port of Hammerfest. There, it grew fond of the locals and was given the name Valdemir, a playful combination of the Norwegian word for whale and the name of its presumed handler, Vladimir Putin. An anonymous source reported that the whale had indeed escaped from a naval program in Murmansk, Russia. However, despite the speculation, Russia denied owning the whale, and no one came forward to claim it. As a result, Valdemir remained free and seemingly faced no issues with its peers for deserting. We may never know exactly what this whale was trained to do or its exact role, but its discovery sheds light on the long history of marine mammals being used in military programs, not just in Russia, but also in the United States. Some find the concept amusing, while others see it as concerning. For decades, militaries have trained dolphins, whales, and sea lions to carry out complex and often secret operations. Dolphins, in particular, have become the U.S. Navy's underwater sentinels in recent decades, safeguarding ships and military bases from significant threats and performing tasks that no technology has been able to replicate. Why are these animals so valuable to the military? And why has human-made technology never been able to replace them? For centuries, humans have enlisted animals to assist in military operations. Pigeons were used to deliver messages as far back as 600 BCE, possibly beginning with Persian King Cyrus, who used them to communicate across his vast empire. Elephants were first deployed in warfare in ancient India around 400 BCE, trampling and intimidating enemy soldiers. Horses, camels, and dogs have also been recruited to aid in warfare, further highlighting humanity's reliance on animals for strategic purposes. But all of this had been done on land. It wasn't until the 20th century that the military began turning to the animal kingdom for help with underwater operations. In the 1960s, during the height of the Cold War, underwater tactics were becoming increasingly important. The nuclear submarine had undergone revolutionary advancements between 1945 and 1960, and the critical need for effective sonar technology was becoming more apparent. Determined to stay ahead in the technological race with the Soviets, the United States started looking for inspiration in unexpected places. In 1960, the U.S. Navy launched a new type of covert operation, the Marine Mammal Program. Initial research focused on hydrodynamic studies of a Pacific white-sided dolphin, aiming to improve torpedo performance. The Navy sought to design more efficient underwater missiles, and dolphins appeared to be the ideal animals to study, as their streamlined bodies could potentially inspire drag reduction systems. They also wanted to investigate the underwater sonar capabilities of dolphins and whales to develop more effective methods of detecting objects beneath the surface. However, shortly after these studies began, scientists realized that dolphins weren't just well designed by nature, they were also trainable, adaptable, and highly intelligent. A major breakthrough came with the discovery that dolphins could work reliably in open water without being tethered to human trainers. In 1965, a Navy dolphin named Tuffy participated in the Sealab 2 project, transporting tools and messages between the surface and a habitat located 200 feet underwater. The Navy was just beginning to grasp the full potential of these remarkable marine mammals. Today, Navy dolphins are primarily trained for one crucial task: locating underwater objects. They possess a unique ability that makes them unparalleled in this role: sonar, or echolocation, as it's known in the dolphin world. Echolocation allows dolphins to see using sound. When a dolphin takes a breath, the air pressure moves through its airways from the lungs, creating currents of bubbles. This motion causes two flaps called phonic lips to clap together, producing vibrations. These vibrations are transferred to the dolphin's bulbous forehead, aptly named the melon. The melon, an organ made of specialized fats, helps project the sound. The clicks are organized into a focused beam as they travel through the melon, then emitted as a series of high-frequency clicks. These clicks peak at frequencies between 40 and 130 kilohertz, with recorded levels exceeding 220 decibels. Underwater decibel measurements differ slightly from those in air, making these figures sound extreme, but they're still incredibly loud. Sound waves travel through water at approximately 1.5 kilometers per second, about 4.5 times faster than sound in air. However, high-frequency sounds don't travel far in water due to their shorter wavelengths and higher energy, while low-frequency sounds can travel greater distances. Because dolphin clicks are high-frequency, echolocation is most effective at close range. Once the sound is emitted from the dolphin's melon into the environment, it bounces off an object and returns as a series of echoes to the dolphin's jaw. Specialized fatty tissues in the jaw capture the sound, and auditory nerves transmit it to the middle ear and brain, where the dolphin creates a mental image of its surroundings. Artificial sonar works similarly, but without the fatty tissues in the forehead. To locate a target, submarines, for instance, use both active and passive sonar. Active sonar emits pulses of sound waves that travel through the water, reflect off the target, and return to the ship. By knowing the speed of sound in water and measuring the time it takes for the sound wave to travel to the target and back, computers can quickly calculate the distance between the submarine and the object. Ships also use this technology to map underwater ridges and get a general understanding of what lies beneath the surface. Passive sonar, on the other hand, doesn't emit signals. Instead, it simply listens for sounds from external sources. However, artificial sonar can easily become confused by competing noises. Turbulence in shallow waters, waves, other ships, or even the sound of your own vessel while operating sonar can interfere with the signal. For this reason, artificial sonar is better suited for low frequencies and long distances in open ocean areas. It is particularly effective in deep ocean channels, roughly 1 kilometer below the surface, where sound travels more efficiently due to the specific combination of temperature and pressure. This makes it ideal for general ocean surveillance. But what if you urgently need to find something in shallow waters or buried beneath the mud, hidden from view? For the Navy, this dilemma is a constant source of concern. Lurking below the surface, often beneath the sand, are explosive devices designed to damage or destroy surface ships or submarines. These devices are planted and remain dormant until triggered by the approach or contact of a vessel. During the Gulf War, several Navy ships were severely damaged by mines. To this day, countless mines are still scattered along the seafloor in areas where conflicts occurred years ago. However, locating targets buried on the ocean floor is a major challenge for artificial sonar systems. A large portion of the sound signal directed downward strikes the seabed and either reflects or scatters before the sound waves can penetrate it. Objects on the seafloor, such as rocks or unrelated debris, also return echoes, using up any energy that manages to penetrate the seabed. For current artificial sonar systems, distinguishing between small, often mud-covered objects is nearly impossible. This is where the U.S. Navy turns to dolphins. Over millions of years, dolphins have evolved precisely for the type of environments where artificial sonar struggles: shallow, murky, and turbulent waters. Using their natural ability to hunt prey buried in the sand, bottlenose dolphins can identify many characteristics of submerged objects, including size, structure, shape, and even material composition. They can distinguish between targets made of aluminum, copper, and brass, or whether an object is hollow or solid. Even if a target is covered in neoprene or buried in the sand, dolphins can differentiate between circles, squares, and triangles. A dolphin's ability to discern the size and composition of a target is likely due to the complex structure of the echo and their extraordinary capacity to interpret it. When a dolphin emits its echolocation clicks, it often receives a primary echo from the main surface reflection and a secondary echo caused by small vibrations within the target. These different echoes create peaks and nulls in the frequency, which dolphins can interpret as variations in the target's size and composition. These evolved mechanisms and extraordinary abilities are precisely what the Navy has harnessed in its Mark 7 mine clearing system. The U.S. military has 5 marine mammal teams, each trained for specific missions. These teams are named Mark 4, 5, 6, 7, and and 8. Teams Mark 4, 7, and 8 use dolphins, Mark 5 employs sea lions, and Mark 6 incorporates both dolphins and sea lions. These teams can be deployed worldwide within 72 hours' notice. In 2003, during the Iraq War, the Navy deployed 2 dolphins to help clear mines in the murky waters of Qasr Harbor. The dolphins cleared a path for ships carrying humanitarian aid. The water was so turbid that divers compared mine hunting to crawling through mud with their eyes closed. But the dolphins' sonar worked flawlessly. Dozens of mines were cleared, allowing the ship's valuable cargo, water, food, medicine, and emergency supplies, to reach the troubled region. Here's how such an operation works. On the way to a minefield, a dolphin travels by boat with its human trainers, protected on a padded folding mat. Once the team arrives, the trainers deploy the mat, and the dolphin slides into the water to begin its search for mines. The dolphin is trained to locate man-made or metallic objects. When it believes it has found one, it swims back to the boat and signals its trainers by touching a marker, such as a ball, with its nose. The trainers then provide the dolphin with a marking device, like a buoy or a specialized acoustic transponder. The dolphin carries this device with its snout to the object, leaving it in the area where the mine is detected. The marker either floats or emits a distinctive sound, enabling human divers to locate the mine later. The dolphin is rewarded with verbal praise and fish. Dolphins can also be trained to detect enemy swimmers, and rumors suggest they've been trained to attack or even kill. During the Vietnam War, there were claims that dolphins were used in lethal programs to eliminate swimmers, allegedly equipped with needles to administer fatal carbon dioxide injections to Viet Cong divers. The Navy, of course, denies these allegations. Animal rights advocates argue that using marine mammals in military operations is exploitative and unethical, equating captivity for these creatures to a prison sentence. However, those who work closely with the dolphins view their work as vital to national security. The Navy insists that their dolphins are happy, enjoy what they do, and live in environments far from resembling a prison. According to the Navy, their habitats are more like classrooms, where dolphins spend their days working with trainers and veterinarians. At night, underwater gates open, allowing them to swim and socialize in larger areas. They are cared for like team members, receiving top-tier medical care when sick, and forming strong bonds with their human companions. While it's impossible to know exactly what dolphins think, everyone hopes they find enrichment and enjoyment in their work. At the end of the day, these dolphins operate untethered in the open ocean. During the 2003 Iraq mission mentioned earlier, one of the dolphins, Tacoma, disappeared and was presumed to have deserted. And our earlier friend Valdemir also seemed to leave his post. Did they get distracted chasing local marine life, or was it a sign of discontent? We may never know. What we do know is that through their service in the US Navy, these dolphins have cleared mines worldwide, undoubtedly saving countless lives. Topics like these delve into the intersection of military innovation and science, highlighting a fascinating, albeit complex, relationship.